Well, hi YouTube, Brian here again with you once again on my path to Paphos. And in this video I'm going to be looking at language, because there's been a lot of people asking me what I'm going to be considering doing about the language, whether I'm going to learn Greek, whether I'm not going to learn Greek, and as to what my plans are. So in this video I'm hoping to let you know. But before I do, please consider hitting the subscribe button below if you haven't subscribed already. It does make a huge difference. Also, while you're down there, there's a little bell. If you click the all, tick the all selection on the bell, then you'll find that you get notification every time I upload a new video to this channel. And while you're down there, finally, hit the thumbs up if you would. Whether you like the video or not, it does me a huge favour by getting YouTube's algorithms to spread the word far and wide so more and more people see these videos. Anyway, to language. What am I going to do? Well, I've been going to Cyprus for the last, 25, 30 years, something like that. And the language is, I don't find Greek an easy language. So I could cop out. I've got a few options. I could cop out and just sort of say, well, everybody speaks English over there. There's so many nationalities in Cyprus now. You've got Hungarians, Romanians, Bulgarians, Germans, French, Russians, obviously, Ukrainians. There's so many languages over there. And the one common language which everybody seems to learn and seem to want to learn is English. So I can speak English. It's dead easy. I don't have to do any work. That's one option. It's not an option that I particularly like the idea of. One of the things I'm really wanting to do is integrate into the Cypriot society. I don't just want to be a tourist who's there on a long vacation of several years. I want to be part of the community. I really want to get involved in the community. And the community is still Greek Cypriots in the area that I want to live. And yes, they could speak English and bow down to me, but why should they? It's their country. And it'll be my adopted country, and the language of my adopted country is Greek. So from my personal point of view, I'm not a very good Greek speaker at the moment, but every time I've been over there for the last few years, I've tried as often as possible to speak as much Greek as possible. It makes me look strange in the hotels sometimes, because quite often I'm the only person in the hotel who's attempting to speak Greek as the visitors. But to me it's important. I've got a couple of Greek Cypriot friends over there, and I would much rather have conversations with them in Cyprus in Greek language than have to talk in English. So from my point of view, I think the idea of speaking Greek is very important. Remember, it's a Cypriot Greek I'll be learning as well, because Cypriot Greek does differ from mainland Greece's Greek language in a few different ways. But from me, if I'm going to be part of the community, I need to start learning to speak Greek. The hard thing I'm finding is to try learning to write and read in Greek. I'm finding that quite a difficult thing. I can pick up being able to speak to people reasonably easily, but to actually be able to put it down on paper or be able to read it properly is quite a challenge. Again, the Cypriots are really helpful in that, because all the road signs are written in both Greek and English. That's marvellous, but it doesn't mean to say that I can't learn and can't try. I've also found, when we're talking about community, that when I've been going into places and at least attempting to speak Greek, even just sort of Kalimera, or whatever, Afrikaans, ask them how they are, and be able to have that little basic amount of vocabulary, I found that people open up and help you far more than if you don't try at all. So my idea is to speak as much Greek as possible. To eventually learn to read and write in Greek would be wonderful. Not to the detriment of my English. I think that's a very useful language over there, because I'm finding when I go into things like coffee shops, especially the sort of more mainstream coffee shops, the Neros and the Starbucks and the Costas or whatever they are, I find when I go across there, I speak my best Greek to as many people as I can behind the counter, but find that they don't speak Greek either. As I say, they're Eastern European, and quite often they don't speak any of the Greek language. But that's not to put me off. I've got the English as a fallback, but I've also got the opportunity to talk to the local people in their own language, and I think that's hyper important. My wife Sue, she's never really tried speaking Greek. I think she gets a bit embarrassed trying to speak a language foreign to her tongue, purely for the fact that it's a step into the unknown. It's a step into possible embarrassment. Do you make a fool of yourself if you get it wrong? Well, I've never really considered that. I try and speak as many languages as I possibly can when I'm away, to as many people. Even if I'm in one country, I'll try and speak to people in their native tongue. But at the same time, you've got to take that leap of faith. You've got to listen. You've got to try and understand and comprehend what they're saying. You've got to ask some questions. What does that mean? Oh, what's a different word? I've never heard that one before. What does that mean? But I do find that if you take that leap of faith, if you take that chance and you do things, then it becomes much more accepted, much easier, and much easier to make friends too. We also live in the technological age, and we've got this fantastic thing called Translate, Google Translate, and I'm knocked out with that. I know it doesn't always work perfectly, especially in Cyprus, because of course, as I say, it's giving mainland Greek rather than Cypriot Greek, so I had a few confusions over that. But I do find that I can find a word or a phrase or a sentence very easily, almost at any time, just by looking on it, just by getting onto there, translating it over. I also found a wonderful thing last year when I was across, earlier this year, there was a carnival in the middle of Paphos, and there was a big PA system set up, and everything was being introduced in Greek. I didn't have a clue, and all of a sudden I heard that there was an English version coming out from beside me. My son had Google Translate up, and you can actually listen to things, and Google Translate will translate it almost in real time. I was astounded. And I've tried that on a few situations where there have been things like public announcements, even on the TV. And it's amazing what you can pick up from that, from Google Translate. So there's so many tools available for us to not only understand a language foreign to our own, but also participate and speak in it. So in answer to the question, am I going to be learning to speak Greek? Too damn right I am. I really am. Because I think that that's going to be one of the key items for me settling into the community in Paphos. Not just the expat community, but also the Cypriot community. Anyway, don't forget, as I said at the beginning, to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. That really does help on things. But also, if you'd like to help the channel get forward, you'll find there's a little link below to a buy me a coffee in the description below. That really would give some support to try and keep these videos coming. But I'll keep you informed on what happens on my path to Paphos, because I'm due across there. I'm taking the plunge in early March 2025. Scary time, but I'm looking forward to it so much. Anyway, till the next time, bye bye.